Hello, creative friends. It is officially gift giving season, and I have some really fun and unique DIY gifts to show you today. So let's go ahead and get started. Pretty much everyone loves candles, and this DIY is a way to give a candle that is a little more unique than the ones you can buy in the store, and no one will expect it. I'm so inspired by the gorgeous painted candles I've seen on Pinterest. I love the florals, the fruits, the patterns. The options are endless, and you can really customize it to fit the person who will be receiving this gift. So for mine, I'm starting with this bold blue candle, and I'll be using these acrylic paint markers that I love so much. They come in a pack with white, black, silver, and gold, and I'll link them below for you. For my design, I chose to do a white daisy since white and blue have a really nice contrast and look really pretty together to me. So I'm keeping it simple and just doing 5 petals, and I'm essentially just drawing 5 ovals all facing in towards each other. I'm drawing each daisy in a zigzag pattern so it looks sporadic around the candle and they aren't too uniform or in a straight line. This is honestly so relaxing to do. You can totally make both candles the same, or you can switch it up and do different colors or a completely different pattern on the second one. You can even do 2 different colored candles if you'd like. There's just so many possibilities with this gift, and that's one of the reasons I love it so much. Now I'm taking that metallic gold paint marker and drawing a small dot in the center of each flower. And after they've completely dried, I'm taking a small piece of some scrap chiffon to tie around them. You can gift this as is, stick it in a basket with some other gifts, or wrap it in wrapping paper. I really love how these turned out. This gift is a pedestal tray made with items from Dollar Tree. So I grabbed a cute white plate and a small white bowl that we're going to put together to make a super practical and usable gift for anyone in your life. After getting these stubborn stickers off, I'm putting some E6000 adhesive on the bottom of the bowl, then centering it on the bottom of the plate. And in literally seconds, you've made the cutest tray. You can do this with so many different plate and bowl combinations, so you can really tailor the style to the person receiving the gift. I let it dry for 24 hours, gave it a quick hand wash, and now I'm plating these precious Little Debbie gingerbread people. These are so much cuter than I thought they would be, and they're pretty tasty too. They're perfect to use if you don't have time to make homemade treats. To give this as a gift, you can just wrap it in plastic wrap and put a cute little bow on top. And they have a delicious dessert and a stylish tray they can keep using afterwards. I love gifts that are both cute and practical, so this next gift is a scrunchie made with this gorgeous velvety yarn. It's a super bulky number 6 yarn that I got from Michael's, and I'll link it below for you. I'll be using this 6.5mm crochet hook, and the only other thing you'll need for this project is a hairband of your choosing. Don't worry if you've never crocheted before. This project is extremely simple. First, you're going to tie a knot around the rubber band, leaving a tail that's a couple of inches long. Next, get your hook and stick it underneath the rubber band. Grab that yarn and pull it back through. Now you're going to make a chain 3. So you're going to yarn over, which just means to wrap the yarn over the needle. Then you'll pull that yarn through the yarn that's on your hook. Yarn over again, then pull it through. Yarn over for a 3rd time, then pull it through. And you've just created a chain 3. Making a scrunchie is super simple because there's only one crochet stitch that you'll do all the way around the scrunchie, and then you're done. And the one stitch that we'll be doing today is called a double crochet stitch. So to do a double crochet stitch, you're going to yarn over, stick your hook underneath your rubber band, grab that yarn and pull it back through. Yarn over again, and then pull that yarn through 1 loop and 2 loops that are on your hook. Yarn over one more time, pull it through 1 loop and 2 loop on your hook. And that is 1 double crochet stitch. So I will show that again. You're going to yarn over, stick your hook under the rubber band, and pull that piece of yarn back through. Yarn over, pull it through 1 loop and 2 loop. Yarn over, pull it through 1 loop and 2 loop. And that's another double crochet stitch. One more time, yarn over, stick your hook under the rubber band, grab your yarn and pull it back through. Yarn over, pull it through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull it through 2 loops, and that is how you do a double crochet stitch. Feel free to back up the video and watch that as many times as you need. Now I'm going to speed through doing these around the rubber band. The amount of stitches you'll need will depend on the size and the thickness of your rubber band and your yarn. Mine needs about 35 stitches. But what's most important is that when you stretch the scrunchie, you don't see too much of the rubber band. If you have a thinner yarn, you might even have 60 to 70 stitches before you fill up the rubber band. Every couple of stitches or so, just pull back on the stitches so that they are snug up against each other and you have room on the rubber band for all of the stitches. So I'm down to my last couple of stitches, and you can see that my scrunchie has this really cute kind of wave to it because I've been pushing back my stitches so that I can fit as many as possible on the rubber band, and that creates this really cute wave. So I'm just finishing up my last couple of stitches here. Then once you get to the very end, we just need to connect these 2 sides so there's not a gap. So to do that, you'll stick your hook through that hole that's at the top of the first chain 3 we made, and then yarn over and pull that yarn through both of those loops that are on your hook. And now you've connected the 2 sides. So we're just going to cut our working yarn, leaving several inches, and use both of those tails that we have to weave together the space in between the first and last stitches. This doesn't have a super specific way of doing it. You'll just put your hook through any loop on either side of where the first chain 3 meets the last double crochet stitch. Then you'll just yarn over and pull that tail through. You'll just continue kind of doing this weaving and pulling the tail through in a somewhat random way, just kind of weaving it in and out so that the tails are secure. The point of this is to make sure that those tails don't come undone and cause your scrunchie to unravel. I like for both of the tails to be close to the same spot before I stop weaving, and then I'll give them a nice double knot. I'm weaving them through a few more times instead of cutting them right at the knot because it could come untied if you cut it too short. Once you get the hang of the double crochet stitch, these are extremely fast to make. It took me about 10 minutes to make each one. And since these are gifts, I want to package them in a cute way, so I'm picking out some colorful paper that I had on hand, and I'm going to make a cute little name tag with it. So basically, I'm just cutting it into a little banner that's narrow enough to fit inside the center of the scrunchie. And I'm cutting in towards it on the ends to give it a cute tag shape. Once I make sure it fits nicely on the scrunchie, I'm going to write the name of who it's for, then put some clear tape on the edges, and that's it. It's a really simple but super cute way to gift your handmade scrunchies. For this next DIY, I'm making a completely homemade Christmas ornament, kind of like the ones we used to make in elementary school that we'd get to decorate in class. And for this, I'm using a salt dough recipe. There are tons of recipes online for salt dough, but I'll put the recipe I'm using here on the screen. I'm just taking a large bowl and I'm adding 1 cup of all-purpose flour. You want to make sure it's all-purpose. 1 cup of salt, and half a cup of water, but you're going to add the water in a few tablespoons at a time. Depending on the climate of where you live, you may need more or less water to reach the desired consistency. So that's why we're adding it in a little at a time. You'll see after I get this mixed up what the consistency should look like. Make sure all the ingredients are adequately mixed and that there aren't any pockets of flour, and then you're going to knead the dough for about 30 seconds. And I think this is an optional step because some recipes did this and some did not, but I'm wrapping it in some plastic wrap and letting it rest for about 10 minutes before I begin rolling it out. I rolled mine until it was about 1/4 of an inch thick, and then I took a plastic Tupperware to punch out my shape. For me, this is going to be a keepsake of my Sweet Hazel's paw print. And it took a few tries, but I finally got some really nice indentations of her paw. This dough is very soft, so you can imprint really anything you'd like onto it. Maybe your child's handprint, your favorite flower, or you can use a cookie cutter to make the whole thing into a fun shape. There are so many ways you can make these. I'm using the end of a paintbrush to make a hole at the top. and then I'm baking them in the oven at 200 degrees for 3 hours. You may need to adjust the time depending on the size of yours. You just want it to be completely dry all the way through. I flipped mine over at about 2.5 hours in because the back needed to dry a little bit more. And once they're done baking and have completely cooled down, it's time to decorate. I'm using this white paint from Dollar Tree and I'm doing 2 coats total. Don't forget to paint the back as well if you'd like. I'm using my gold acrylic paint marker to fill in the paw shape so that it really pops. And for the others, I'm using this red paint. 2 of these will be going to her grand paw rinse, so I'm doing each of them a little bit differently according to the colors they like. After that's completely dried, I'm sealing it with this matte Mod Podge. Don't skip this part because if it isn't sealed, it could get moisture inside and possibly mold over time. But if you seal it, it should last for many, many years. I'm sealing over just the white parts first. Then I'm going over the colored in parts after that because it can tend to re-wet the paint and cause it to bleed. Let that completely dry. I want to write Hazel's name on them, so I'm sketching that out with a pencil first. I didn't realize my hand is completely blocking your view here, but I'm going over the pencil with a permanent marker. I'm using this basic white ribbon to tie onto them and using this little plastic needle to thread it through. I cut a little point at the end of the ribbons as well, just to finish them off. I pulled these off of some Dollar Tree florals I had, and I'm going to add them at the top. Obviously, this pine one wasn't going to work, so I grabbed a different one. I'm getting a feel here for how they're going to lay, and then I'm hot gluing them down. These definitely have a very handmade look, which may not be for everyone, but I love the nostalgia of being a kid and making these homemade ornaments. So if you love it too, definitely try these out. They make a really meaningful gift. Then I'm gluing some little berries to complete the look. If you're anything like me, you love pillows and can never have enough. So when I found these placemats in the Walmart clearance section for $3 each, I had to grab them because they just look like they need to be a pillow. I wanted this to be a super quick and easy DIY with no sewing whatsoever. So for the first time today, I'm going to be trying out this Heat and Bond hem tape that you just iron on, and it seals the edges of the pillow. So first I'm just cutting the tape to the length that I need for each side. And then I'm laying my second placemat over top. Make sure the pretty sides are both facing outwards. Once it's lined up, you're going to press on the iron. The instructions say to have the iron on a medium setting and to press and hold onto the fabric for about 8 seconds. So I did that all the way around the pillowcase except for one side. You're going to leave one side open until we stuff the pillow. Once you've finished ironing those 3 sides, flip the pillowcase over to the side that was facing down and go around those 3 sides once again, but only for 3 seconds. And after you're done with all the ironing on those sides, we're going to go in with our pillow stuffing and stuff the pillow. This gift is super customizable because you can pick placemats that represent the person who will be receiving this gift. You can even use some super cute Christmas placemats so it can be incorporated into someone's Christmas decorating, or you can use a more year-round print so they can keep it out all the time. After you've stuffed it, go ahead and iron on the last side of that pillow for 8 seconds on one side and 3 seconds on the other side. I've never used hem tape before, but the packaging says that you can machine wash it on delicate warm and you can tumble dry it on a delicate low, which is a great feature that could really come in handy, so I'll link it below. This turned out super cute and was so easy to make. I hope you got some inspiration from this video. Let me know in the comments which gift is your favorite or which ones you plan to try out. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year, guys. See you next time.